Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Tuesday, August the 5th, and this is your Daily Dose. Alright, so the rumors were true. Assassin's Creed Rogue will be coming out. It just got its official announcement trailer today from Ubisoft. It's actually a pretty neat little trailer too. It's a little over a minute long, but it's very impactful. And I just kind of wanted to talk about my ideas for this franchise in general. And I kind of want to go over some of what the internet is saying right now about the Rogue trailer. I've been reading a lot of comments on some of these websites and stuff like that. So we'll get into that in just a second. But let's talk about what Rogue is going to be bringing to the table in case you don't know already. And we'll get into some of the details, and then I'll get into my opinions about what I think about the franchise and where it's heading. Alright, so the game launches on November the 11th for Xbox 360 and PS3. And as of right now, there's no mention of it coming to PC, but it obviously could come to PC at some point in the future. It's set in the middle of the 18th century during the 7 Years' War. It also says that you can explore North America, including the North Atlantic, the Appalachian River Valley, and New York. And you play as a Templar named Shay Patrick Cormac, I believe is how you say his name. And actually in the announcement trailer, it shows him kind of going up against a member of the Brotherhood, and it shows him pulling a gun. Now, the thing about the trailer that kind of interests me though is it shows him pulling the gun, but it doesn't show him actually killing the member of the Brotherhood, so that's kind of interesting. Now, obviously, he could actually be killing him, but I thought it was kind of cool that they left that out, because who knows? He may not be killing him at all, but we'll leave that for another commentary maybe. That's just something I picked up on when I watched the trailer. And the last bullet point here is that it completes the Assassin's Creed North American saga that began with Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag. So that's kind of all the bullet points that I'm looking at on these websites right now, just to kind of get you up to speed. But let's talk about the franchise right now and kind of the momentum that it has and where it's going. So the internet seems to be pretty divided on this one, and you guys have heard me talk about the Assassin's Creed franchise before, how I really love it. I really like the fact that, you know, it takes place in quote-unquote actual history, right? Obviously it has its own little slant to it, but it feels like a big history lesson. So it's got that reality, you know, it's basically built in realism, I should say, and I like that. I personally feel like that the franchise was getting a bit stale, not necessarily in the environments, because that's really why I play the game, is to kind of see history in the environment, but I'm talking about the gameplay mechanics. The way that you move around and all that kind of stuff, to me, was getting a bit stale. And I think Unity is going to break that trend, because, I mean, just when you look at Unity and how you can, you know, traverse up and down buildings now is so fast and seamless. You know what I mean? They're adding the co-op function in there. So I think that's going to be enough to kind of, you know, rejuvenate my passion for the franchise, right? Not that it had like completely went away, but you get my point. It's going to do something a little bit different. It feels fresh, you see what I mean? And I think this Rogue, even though it's going to be on 360 and PS3, I think it has the ability to do the same thing for people who haven't made that leap to next gen yet, because, you know, as they stated in the trailer, you don't play as a part of the Brotherhood. You're against the Brotherhood. So there's that factor in it. You know, there's that other side of the coin. And we've seen that a bit in Assassin's Creed 3, right? When you had the relationship between Connor and his father, and you even got to play as his father a couple times. So we got to see a little bit of that dynamic working, and that was actually pretty cool, I thought. But now you're going to get to see it fully from the other side of the coin. And I think that's going to be interesting to play. And I have to be completely honest with you. When I heard about this rumor that there was, you know, maybe going to be a game coming out for the 360/PS3, my thought was that, well, I'm not going to play it. You know what I mean? I've already made the jump to next gen. There's really no need for me to go back and play that game. It's kind of going to be the same old, same old. I'm going to go ahead and jump to Unity, because obviously that's where I feel like the fresh take on the series is. But now that I'm seeing that you get to play as the other side of the coin, and it's kind of actually fulfilling a bit of that storyline that already exists, I don't know, that's enough for me to feel like that's fresh enough too. So I think Ubisoft has actually done something pretty smart here. You know, they know that not everybody's made the leap, and they know that, I think they know that their own franchise is getting a bit stale. They have to at this point. You see what I'm getting at? And I don't say that in a negative way, like it's a garbage franchise or that it sucks. I just mean, it is the same old, it feels like. And between Rogue and you playing as the other side of the coin, right, as a Templar, well, you're actually playing as a Brotherhood turned to the Templar. And then in with Unity, just the ability to jump in, jump out co-op, and with the ability to kind of traverse, and they got a new map system. Everything just feels fresh. So I think that as long as neither one of the games take a dip in quality, because that's a lot of studios working on this stuff, right? I'm sure that these projects are passing through a lot of hands, if you know what I mean. As long as neither one of them take a dip in quality, I think they're bringing enough freshness to the table to make it worth your while to play both, you know what I mean? If you've made the leap. I think it's enough for you to enjoy Unity for what it is, and then I think it's enough for you to kind of jump back to, you know, last generation, if you've already made the leap, to jump back and play Rogue for what it is. And I think that's smart on their part, because they're hitting everybody. And who knows, man, maybe if there's that gamer out there who's, you know, debating about making the leap to the next gen, or current gen I should say, and they play Rogue and they complete it, and it ends up being a good game, then they might go, you know what, I gotta throw my money down and get me a console and buy this one, because that momentum will be there. So I think it's a smart choice. And the internet seems to be a bit divided on it right now. Like if you read comments on websites and stuff, there's some people who are saying, you know, it's too much, you know, 2 games in a year, that sort of thing. And that I hear you. I can totally see that. And that's kind of what I thought at the beginning, or not at the beginning of the year, but around the middle of the year when this rumor started kind of, you know, coming out. But like I said, if it had just been a Brotherhood type thing where you were still just a regular assassin doing your thing, I think I wouldn't be interested in it either, to be honest with you. But because you're playing as the other side of the coin, you're getting to see that, and well, you're kind of getting to see both sides of it too, because you're an assassin turned Templar. So there may be flashbacks in there where you get to play, you know, maybe as when you were an assassin, then you get to play when you know, now you are a Templar. Who knows? The sky's the limit when you start playing with both sides of the coin that way. So, but let me know what you guys think about Rogue. If you haven't seen the trailer, I'll link it below. It'll actually be in the YouTube spotlight. You guys can check it out. It's only like a minute and some odd seconds long, but you can digest that and see what you think, and let me know what you think about Rogue and Unity, and just the, you know, the entire franchise as a whole. You know, what you think about it and where it's going, and I will talk to you guys in the comments below. Alright guys, make sure to check out yesterday's video if you missed it. There's basically a study that came out that claims that if you play games for 1 to 3 hours a day, you're going to have mental issues. So we definitely talked about that in the comments of yesterday's video. And then obviously the YouTube spotlight is the announcement trailer for Assassin's Creed Rogue, so definitely check that out, and I will see you guys right back here tomorrow.